What's up, guys? It's your man Stormy Rancho here, and I'm gonna be doing a trailer analysis of Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 that just came out with E3, the trailer slash like gameplay stuff that's getting posted everywhere. So I'm like gonna give my thoughts on all of it, pretty much just going at it really, just with all my opinions and all that, with the mechanics, the damage output, the visuals, just in general. So I mean, first of all, what I want to talk about is how the match first starts off. You first notice, like especially with each one of the characters, they kind of go in a little standoff with each other and kind of like clash a little bit, and then the battle starts and says round 1. That's a new feature that Cyber 2 just introduced. I don't know, I'm kind of biased with it. It's kind of like, it's a good thing, but I still it's kind of more or less a supplement to like fixate the people that wanted the intros back from how they were in Storm 1, how the characters would interact with each other. It's kind of like a little bit of interaction, but it's not like full dialogue like the outro. So I mean, I like it, but it's still like, I would prefer an intro, but I mean, you get what you get. So I'm like, it's interesting. A lot of people not really, before I saw, a lot of people didn't know what was going on with it. So I mean, that's like the first thing that comes to my head. Like, it's pretty much just a remedy for like the intros what used to be in Storm 1. Pretty much, that's like my main thoughts on that, with just looking at the game initially when I first saw it. That's like the first thing that came to my head. Second thing that's on my mind was the adding the rounds feature. That's also like a big thing to me. Like, I say that makes the longevity of the matches more. Like, for me, I'm an experienced just Storm player, period, right? I'm not like the best out there, but I mean, I've been playing my fair share of Storm games for quite a few years now. And there's sometimes a match could take the full time limit, which you can lose to like 1 or 2%. Usually it's due from the character or whoever's playing on rank, playing very distant, like especially on like the Planetary Devastation map. But mainly it's used like, mainly characters to be like, the person be playing the characters like you spam. Like Revolution, it was Madara, Storm 2, it was Datara, Generations. It's like they all have their characters. So I'm just kind of just saying that shit for verbatim. But still, like, just thinking about it, adding a round factor. And what I've noticed with the rounds specifically is when the character that won that round, their health doesn't regenerate to full, like in traditional fighter games, like fighting games where it's like each start of the round, like if the person won, the health would go back to normal. This is like, it stays where it's at. I think that's a kind of good and a bad. So I mean, I can see like you beating one person in like the first round, like kind of like with your skill or something, not really just skill, but like you just outplay them. But then it's like the second round, they're just gonna spam because like, oh, they're not gonna beat you that way. But I also can see it working vice versa. Someone just playing really distant and winning to time, and just keep doing that, and it's just gonna make the match seem like it's dragging on and on, especially if it's like lag. So I mean, I personally think with it, no matter what the situation, I feel like the health should have regenerated back up. That's just me, but if you're the guy on the winning side, I mean, it's worse, but I mean, I just think the health going back up is good. I like how when the match is over, if they're in Awakening or something, they lose it and all that. I think that's a good feature, but the whole health regeneration thing, I'm not really for. But it's not the biggest nitpick I have. Also, 3, here's another one with it, the damage reduction. I've noticed that substantially, especially in True Awakenings. Well, I mean, guess that's what we're gonna call them now. I'm still used to just calling them regular Awakenings, from like Storm Generations 2, 1, like, but it's Awakening and then True Awakening. I guess there's no more Instant Awakenings, so I'm guessing they're just called Awakenings now, but I'm so used to calling them True Awakenings. I'm going off topic, but still, like, Awakenings, I've noticed, especially with Sasuke's Perfect Susanoo, that the damage reduction is substantially like just like reduced, like especially like with his combos. His jutsu not so much, it still does about like 25%. Just from me looking with my eyes and seeing the health bar, I like kind of just eyeballed it like 25%. It looked like that's 25%, but it's like, it doesn't seem like they're substantially powerful than the characters themselves. It's more or less, they do get extra things, like they're really big, but it doesn't seem like you're at a disadvantage like in the other games when you're playing a smaller character. Because I've noticed that in all the other Storm games, when someone would awaken, there's some things you just couldn't do to them, like throw shuriken, and previous Storm games you can hit them with an ultimate. They're just variable things that they changed over the course of time, but I've noticed that they don't seem that bad to me. I mean, I can do a full combo with them. It's like they look like they're balanced, or like they're more balanced out and scale pretty well. I did notice one thing that with the on the topic of awakenings, when Madara awakened in one of the clips, I think I was watching PS3 360 or something when he was making it, and it's like the video he uploaded from like E3's demo was like when Madara awakened on like Obito, I think it was like his support also awakened at the same time, which made me kind of think about the team gauge a little bit when I looked at it, that there's like two gauges. There's the health bar, there's the chakra bar. There's a yellow bar that's like the halfway point of the chakra bar under the chakra bar, like it's under it. That didn't really make that sense. It's like under the chakra bar, but it's at the halfway point from the right, and then there's the sub bars under that. So I've just noticed that like that gauge fills up like the regular storm gauge in the previous games, but it looks like its specific use is more or less for just awakenings and team jutsus. That's pretty interesting, because I've noticed when the team jutsu activated, when I think, what was it, Sakura did it in one of the demos for someone, I think I'll put their videos in the video, so you'll probably see what I'm talking about. So what is it like? It goes all the way down with the team ultimate jutsu. Also, I still notice that the team ultimate jutsu, they still go one at a time. I still like that feature, but it's like it went all the way down, but when they awaken, that gauge goes down, like the storm gauge awakening and revolution and stuff like that. So it looks like it's a universal gauge for those two things. So the battle types are officially gone from what I can see. It seems like there's no guard attack type. It seems like the supports are just supports, like in revolution, but like I think there's no drive type period, or just no guard attack balance anymore. I think they just took those out completely. That's what it looks like. Also, 4, I want to talk about Sakura. It seems like she's got a completely new moveset and she's just revamped entirely. Like, that's pretty crazy to me. Like, Sakura, I mean, she's not my favorite character. She's like no one's really favorite character, like, honestly, but it's nice to see her moveset change a little bit. I mean, her moveset kind of changed the revolution a little bit, but it was just her awakening and true awakening. And it was everything else kind of stayed the same. It was like her moveset and her awakening and her jutsu and her tilt. Everything in her awakening changed, but now it seems like her whole moveset has changed as a character. She's a completely different character from the Sakuras in every other game. And I'm starting to like that. Like, it looks like her jutsu's different. I think it's like that. It's like her punch that's in Awakening and Storm Revolution. I don't know what it's called, but it's Tsunade does it too in Revolution 2. Also, her down combo is like a chop. Like, it's kind of like her down combo already, but it's like with her chop at the end, and it's a little bit longer. She's a lot faster, I could say that. And her neutral's like a cool kick and stuff. I'll put it in the video, so you'll probably see it, what I'm talking about. It's pretty boss. I like it. Also, what I've also known about Sakura is like her ultimate's still the same. Me, that's not really a big deal because the ultimate's fairly new to me. Like, it's the one she got in Revolution, but I mean, it's still like unchanged. Like, same thing happened with like BG mode Naruto, well, Ashura mode Naruto, I'm guessing that's what I call him. He has the same ultimate as BG mode Naruto, which I'm kind of like nitpicky about that also. Like, can give them a new ultimate, new moveset, and new everything. I mean, might as well just ultimate it, but I mean, I guess not, but I mean, it's whatever. Also, what's on my mind too is the throwback to Storm 1 with the ultimate jutsus. I noticed that after Sasuke did his ultimate jutsu on Naruto, he went instantly into his awakening, his perfect Susanoo. And I remember in Storm 1, where like Naruto or Sasuke would do an ultimate, it's like they would be in their awakening. Same with like the Ultimate Ninja series, like they would be in their awakening after they did their ultimate. Like, I remember specifically in Ultimate Ninja 3, where I played as like, what was it, Kirumaru fighting Neji, and he did his ultimate, which was like a big arrow that just fired at it, and he instantly went to like Curse Mark State 2 after it, which was cool. Then you also had your other ultimate in that awakening, which would alternate like different. It would be the same thing, but like more medicine because they're in Curse Mark State 2. But I mean, that was a nice throwback to me. I like how they added that. It's like they're bringing back classic features from like the first game, and that were like really good. I mean, clashes, I'm still like, I'm like 50-50 with that. Mainly because I can see where the button mashing portion of the Clash can go wrong, like with turbo controllers, and just people that are better at mashing buttons than you, you're at a disadvantage. So I mean, but like, I like the whole awakening thing. That's cool. Like if you're doing the ultimate, which you're like how I think, but I only saw it with Sasuke though. That's what got me. I mean, you would assume Madara would do that since his ultimate jutsu is in his awakening. Technically, it's his perfect Susanoo doing like a sword cut, so he would be in it. But I mean, he might though. So I mean, that's what it with that. Also, what I saw with the gauge mechanics, what I also think is, what was it? The team switch. That's also what I'm getting at. Is it like reliant on that gauge too? Or is it just like you can do that anytime? That's also one thing I was kind of just debating on with myself. Like, what is that all about? Because there is also like, I saw when Sasuke was in his true awakening, he was doing a combo, I think on Sakura or something in one of these videos, or he was doing a combo on someone, and it's like, I think it was Naruto. But it's like Madara just jumped in. I don't know if that was the team switch or kind of like the attack, like the attack support kind of thing back from like Generations in Storm 2, where like if they attack, they kind of combo in with the gauge and stuff like that. I don't know, that kind of got me. I mean, it would be cool if it would, but like that was kind of cool. Two giant perfect Susanos like kind of comboing for each other with the gauge. If that's so boss. But I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't really tell what it was 100%. So I was kind of just left kind of guessing a little bit. Like, so I was like, I'm not sure what that is 100%. Also, what else is on my mind is the balancing of characters. Like you, let me explain. Like in Storm Revolution, it was like Madara's ultimate jutsu. It would hit regardless. Like if he got hit, it still would go out. Like jutsus that just wouldn't be canceled. Some ultimate jutsus or jutsus could be canceled with shuriken or hits or something by some characters, but some were just like, they just kept going. And it's like that Madara especially, like you would just sit there and ultimate, even if you got hit or subbed, it would still come out and potentially hit your opponent. And it's like, that's the thing about in Storm Revolution, when it's like you're not guard broken or anything, like, or you don't cancel, the ultimate's gonna do more damage, so people would just spam it until they hit it, so it would do max damage. So that's what kind of got me. I don't know if that mechanic's gonna be in Storm 4 at all, like the damage reduction with like guard breaks, but it seems like the cancel, me just from looking at Sasuke when he does his ultimate, like it didn't look like he combo canceled, so I'm like, he just kind of just did it and it hit. So I'm assuming that it's still gonna be in there. Like if you cancel with like a combo ultimate, it's gonna be substantially weaker ultimate than really it would just be straight up just spamming and hitting it with someone just by coincidence. But I mean, other than that, like the visuals to me like are astounding. This is just, that's all I had on my list to talk about really with the game and all that. But I mean, other than that, just the visuals, they look amazing. Like Cyberpunk 2 knows how to make a good looking game. The cell shading looks amazing to me. Like it just does. They did say something about like battle damage to like the field and all that, just through fighting, like the clothing and stuff. But I mean, like I'm guessing that doesn't happen or something, because I'm just looking at all the demo clips. It looks like the stage seems relatively unscathed, like despite true awakening of the combos or getting hit and stuff. But the armor breaks are nice. I see the armor break for all the characters, but some of the characters in the demo, I don't know if they actually have it. Like Naruto, he gets armor broken, but it doesn't look like he's battle damaged. That's just me. Maybe I haven't seen him like in like the Outjordan, but Sakura, she kind of loses her vest and her sleeve. She looks like when like the end of the manga where she was like about to get Sasuke like teleporting. Spoilers though, I'm gonna probably put spoilers, but I mean pretty much just like at the end of the manga of the war arc, pretty much before Naruto Sasuke fights, it's like she looked like that, something like that. And then Madara, he was like damaged, and you know, he's the Edo Tensei Madara and not the revived one, which I feel like they should have made that, like for real. This last game, Madara technically gets revived and then kind of just whoops ass with like a Zetsu arm and Hashirama's face on his chest, and as a human he's back to life, and then he becomes Rikudo Sennin Madara. So I'm like, they should have made Madara human, or made him just made him a new character. I would think that, but I mean, I guess there's a lot of work. I mean, they already had the skin for him that was like Madara when he's alive in Black Cloak. But I mean, man, people be asking for Taijutsu Madara, so I mean, that would have been a perfect opportunity to make him like, I don't know why people call him Taijutsu Madara. I know Taijutsu pretty much is like close combat skills, but I mean, I just call that Madara like hand-to-hand combat. That's just that nigga be whooping ass with his fist and his feet. What can you do? And I mean, like, other than that, I mean, like, the game looks visually good. I saw a counter once in one of the gameplay clips what I was watching, but it didn't connect, and it seems like no one else did a counter after that with any of the characters, so I don't know the extent of it. That was kind of the bane of my existence in Revolution, so I mean, we could see with that. I hope counter is either out of the final thing, or it's like a pushback. Like, in what I could think of the top of my head is, if any of you played Persona 4 Arena, it's like how like the burst would kind of just knock them off or like push them back. You know, if you do like a double guard break pill, it like the second one pushes them back. If it just did that instead of like breaking the guard, I would be fine with that. Kind of just pushes someone off you, like Pain's Almighty Push or something. That would be good. Or like Madara's Tilt. I think that would be the best for the counter. Like, kind of just push you off and away. That would be good. So I mean, other than that, the game looks good. No release date, just says fall 2015. So I mean, I guess, I mean, what I would have to say fall, I would be like August or September, around that time when it's gonna come out, like with Revolution, around that area. Well, Revolution came out I think in March or something, but like there's been Storm games that have come out in that time period. I think it was either Storm 3 or Generations, so it's probably gonna be that, like right before the holidays and stuff, so everyone can get their PS4s and stuff and Xbox Ones or Christmas and stuff, so they can go buy this game and other games too, like that were hyped early in the year. So I mean, other than that, like, good trailer, good demo, like looking really forward to this game. Not really getting too hyped for it, like mechanically, but visually it looks really good. I would want to see the story mode. I want to see how it all plays out, so I can see my favorite manga moments in like cell shaded mode. That's pretty dope. Other than that, that's really all to say. I mean, if y'all want to continue the discussion, what y'all think, like what y'all think was OP, what changes you would want to make, or like anything, any of your opinions in the comments, and I mean, I want to see what they are. So I mean, it's been your man Stormy Wrench Show, and I'm out here though.